First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Coastal Edge. Sorry about that. Technology screens. Sorry about that. In the morning, it's rough for me. It's really rough. So I had to be up early in the morning to do this demonstration because, like I said, it has to be absolutely dark in the house. We can't have any lights coming through. And my house has a great deal of windows. So I had to make sure I'm up early to do this one. So what I wanted to do is showing you a demonstration on how a lot of these gray screen paint mixes fake their contrast demonstrations. And one of the things I've seen, anytime they try to display contrast, they always do it in a dark environment because that's where the screen's going to pick up. We're going to do this demonstration on the prime and 2 other screen paint mixes to show you how they're faking it. All the lights in the house are off, all LED lights, everything. This place is dark. Once I turn off the kitchen light, should be off. Oops, me tripping over cables. Hopefully, we don't do that in the dark. We don't trip over any cables in the dark. All right, let's get it dark in here. So I said yesterday I wanted to be up early in the morning for this because, like I said, I have to be up before the crack because it's well lit in here. We need it to be dark in this environment. That dark. We need to be super dark in here. So we can show you how they fake these demonstrations. Now, if you notice on the web page, we were building a section on the page that exposes these people for what they are. The fake demonstrations. We're exposing fake projectors. This is stuff that actually ruins the industry. It does. We have to show you the unboxing, which is very important. And we must show you the labels. Labels, so you can see exactly what we're demonstrating against. You have to see those labels. So, before we start this, what I found interesting in the demonstration of the Nova Black, and that demonstration, labels were never shown. They were never displayed any labels. And then number 2, there was no unboxing. There was nothing at all, period. So individual could have just grabbed a container, put black paint in it, and said, hey, this is its product. You have no proof that it is or it isn't. So with that being said, and at that, like I said, the demonstration, we have to do that demonstration again because that's we posted to the website. I did a lot of talking in that demonstration. Need to keep it short and sweet for that one. You know, we're going to redo those demonstrations again, live again. If you see them again being repeated, it's because it's for the website, because we're building a fraud website. And also, too, like I said, I have contacted an attorney general and I got some other people involved in this. So it's going to be something. All right. And on top of that, we're going to be doing a huge segment on these fake projectors coming out. Good gracious. It gets worse every time I go on Amazon. All right. So let's start before Mr. Sun starts popping up. All right. So pitch black environment. We got some primer. That's the primer right there on the larger screen. That is Crow's Metallica mix, and that is his personal mix. His spiral projector. This time I do have the remote control with me. Now, in these demonstrations, that when we do demonstrations against the ultralight, this is the lightest gray screen paint we make. Because as I said before, if you're doing a screen that is gray, the one thing you should be displaying off that screen is one thing that screen is not supposed to be able to do, and that is display a contrast level. So that's what we have to display. When we do black screens, we have to display white levels. We have to concentrate on more white levels because that's what that screen's not supposed to be able to do. Make sure we just fit in there just right. And I got to hurry up because it's sun's coming up quick. So that's something we have to display. And we'll put down, if you want to see our demonstrations, live demonstrations on our ultralight gray tests, we'll put them below. We can check them out. That's why tests are important, because right now in a situation like this, I can back it up by saying, hey, we tested our stuff already. Here you go. This is why you have to have tests. Can't cut corners. All right, now as you can see, with the primer we're using right now at Lowe's, this is Crow's Metallica 2.0, which I showed you in the container right there. Goes into the screen, no problem. The other paint is a personal mix. It's more lighter than the primer we're using, so that one's not going to prime. It's going to blend, but not as well as the other one. All right. Now, let's pull up our Starfield demonstration. Starfield screensaver. Oh, I forgot. I got to go to YouTube first before we go to that one, because she has to be on YouTube to do that. And the sad thing about it is they'll fool you by telling you that, oh yeah, you can see contrast levels. You can pull them off. You can see it. No, you can't. No, you can't. Starfield screensaver. And I want you to see not only how his screen is blending in with $15 primer. Now there's a Starfield demonstration. We'll get you up close. Oh, sorry about that. This is the reason why they cannot do the demonstration in the fully lit environment, because the screen will wash out. This is why we request this from this individual. He will not do this. Now, let's take our lights out. Looks much better, doesn't it? There's the trick right there. This is why contrast levels are never displayed in fully lit environments, because the screen has a much better chance of pulling a black level in the dark than it does with the lights on. There you go. I told you. That's why every demonstration you see under this fellow and displaying a con. You ever seen the LG OLED fish? That's that black background. You ever seen that done in a fully lit environment? How we do it over here? They can't do that. The screen can't pick it up. And he's That's why when he did the demonstration with the customer, that's why the lights kept being flickering on and off, because anytime contrast levels came up that were on the screen, the lights went out. And the minute anything with beautiful colors came on, the lights came on, and the camera moved around the room to say, look, we have ambient light rejection. No, ambient light rejection is supposed to work. If the screen's black, blue, green, or red, it's supposed to maintain the same image. It's not supposed to fade. You can't talk about something. That's the sad thing about it is some people speak on things and don't know exactly what it means. When ambient light rejection is supposed to allow you to be able to reject light that hits the screen. And this keeps the screen from fading and washing out. Now, if I put on those lights again, your screen fades. This is why when you see me upstairs in the Japanese tea room and you see all that light hitting the screen, or you see me anywhere in my environment, my projector sits 18 feet back, and you see me display a Starfield demonstration and then turn that projector on, I think boom, and the Starfield still stays on. There you go. LG Beta Fish. Now, again, if I'm wrong in this demonstration, he can feel free to mimic or better the demonstration, and I bet you never does it. Now, keep in mind, if he said in his demonstrations that, okay, look, our gray screen paint, contrast levels are fair, they do better with the lights off, that's being honest with your customers. He doesn't do that. You're comparing yourself with technology that's designed to pull heavy contrast levels, and you're trying to say you do the same thing that we have over here. You don't. And even when it comes down to the ultralight gray screens, they were tested against primer certified screens, and they were tested against this product right here. And his screen failed miserably against our ultralight gray screen paint. And we consider this to be the white screen paint of our products, or the white projection screen products. Now, in the OLED demonstration, the background must remain black. Mind, this is being displayed on the OLED TV. So the background must always remain jet black. Okay? Let's go back and do that demonstration with the lights out. Well, I should have backlit these remote controls. There you go. And that's why they'll sit there in the dark and go, look at my screen. See, it produces the same contrast as this black screen does. I can do the same thing. No, you can't. Because this screen can pull this image off outside at 6 o'clock in the evening on 1,000 lumens. It can pull it off in the house with no problem whatsoever. Right next to the window lights, windows, with no problem. And this is what I mean by fake demonstrations. And the whole entire time we're doing this demonstration, his product is matching primer. Lights back on. Fireworks display, 4K demonstration. So your answer is no. Without our color coding technology, gray screens cannot see contrast. You would have to be, sorry, it's gonna be bad for me today. You're gonna have the dark environment. In order for you to see a proper contrast, somewhat proper contrast level, you're gonna have to turn your environment into a cave. You can display the screen in a fully lit environment. It's not gonna work. And the projector we're using is 4,300 lumen Chrissy. So lumens has nothing to do with it. Lights out. Now, again, if I'm wrong on this, he could easily do a demonstration of a starfield demonstration, the entire video with the windows open, fully lit environment, and display it from start to ending without ever turning out the lights. And display nothing but contrast levels only. City, screensaver, nighttime. I'm going to be doing this against certified screens. Oh yeah, I'm going to do certified screens also too. I don't want people thinking, oh, we're just going after him. No, we're going to do mixes first. Then we're going to do certified screens because certified screens have some issues and pulling up contrast levels. Now see how bright this image is? Watch this. Oh yeah, you turn the lights on. You can turn the lights on. You can see the image perfectly clear with the light. I told you, bright, beautiful colors will show up better on a gray screen in a fully lit environment. That's why when they test against a darker screen, if they have the real formula, if they test against a dark screen, they will stick to bright colors because they have a better survival chance in a fully lit environment with bright colors. They will never switch over to contrast because number one, the screen won't pick up contrast, but the darker screen will pick it up and it will overshadow the screen. And everybody knows that when it comes down to a projection screen, contrast is everything. It is everything. That's why you have big companies out there who have dark screens that will sacrifice those white levels, a tad of those white levels for a darker screen. If that was the case and lighter gray screens were the superior screens, then they would be costing $4,000 and $5,000. Not a dark gray screen or a screen nearly black costing you $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a screen. He's got his wires crossed. Even us, we have, like I said, the ultralight gray. Beat this product with no problem. Pull the contrast level, no problem. Dark colors, no problem. And that is our cheapest screen paint on our website. You know why? Because it's a light gray screen. The darker screens are the screens that have the heavier value. that can pull heavier contrast levels, can pull deeper and richer colors, can take in 10 times more light. Those are screens that cost a little bit more money. Anyone's going to tell you that a gray screen is going to overpower a darker screen? No, 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 no. Even if you go to AVS forums, they'll sit there and tell you, no, that's not possible. So he's trying to pull up. This is the Metallica Mix 2.0 and the personal mix. The Cinemax is lighter than these. That's going to fade even faster. Bet you comes really close to white screen. Now, right there on that corner right there, we got a white sheet of paper I just put there. Can't see it, can you? That's a white sheet of paper. See it now, don't you? Gray screens are going to blend better than the white screen because they have some sort of slight contrast to them. But the only way you're going to be able to see this image like this, you got to sit in the dark. This is how your house is going to look. This is why every time you see a demonstration with him displaying, it's in the dark. Because when he's doing demonstrations, either he's got to pick through the video and find certain areas that are not going to have the less contrast as possible and more bright colors. That's what he has to do. Because at any given time, if a contrast level pops up on the screen, what do you think is going to happen? I'm going to tell you right now, and another way to prove my point. I can mimic every demonstration he does on that gunmetal screen behind me in a fully lit environment with all those windows hitting me. And I guarantee you that he can't mimic any of the contrast demonstrations we do right now. Because that screen behind me can see contrast light levels in color in a fully lit environment. All right, lights on. See what you got. Ah, see that? Even the white piece of paper was able to blend in to the screen easily, and you couldn't see it because the lights were out. That's the trick. Goldfish screensaver. I had to be up early in the morning for this one. And I got orders to process. Like this particular demonstration with the car. He started this demonstration right off when they were opening up the hangar and it was showing the vehicle. He didn't show it from the beginning where basically they showed a black display and they showed the Los Angeles, California logo going across it. Watch this. Again, like I said, nice bright colorful. We're going to do the bright colorful demonstrations, but look at this. See how well? I'm not going to hit it yet. And it'll say, look how beautiful the color can produce in a fully lit environment. Yeah, because you're showing off bright colors. Bright colors are going to fade a little bit less. Now you see right there where it says Los Angeles, California? That background is supposed to be jet black. He skipped over that part right there. And he started from here. Which is a much brighter part of the demonstration. And in between the demonstration, if you look at the lighting on the wall went from dark to light, to dark to light, to dark to light, which means he was triggering the switches on the lights back and forth, because every time they showed a contrast level, he would turn the lights out. Now see how he's able to pull that off and show you that, look, I'm doing the exact same thing. I told you, I can mimic your demonstrations right through gray primer. Easily. I know all the tricks. I've been in the business for over 12 years. I know every trick in the book that they use. Now see how the image would come up on the side of the car, how it would come up gray? Now, if I display this on my gunmetal over there, that image is going to come up black. If you watch it on YouTube without watching it off my screen, that image comes up black. I think we're going to do next. I got a TV in there. We're going to do the contrast TV. Show you how far they go into faking these demonstrations. Let's go back, which is Los Angeles. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our TV down here. We're going to put it down here at the bottom. I got a TV in there. Put it at the bottom. And we're going to show the same demonstration. And I'm going to show you on the TV where that contrast though, it's going to come up black. On here, it's going to come up gray. And we're going to do this in a fully lit environment. Because if you were to do comparisons next to TVs, you should be doing everything. You should be doing the white levels, because we've done this. We've done this on the 12. As a matter of fact, I will post at the bottom of us doing a demonstration of a 12 on white levels versus a TV. Yep, did it already. Told you. You've seen the crazy tests I do. Why would I back down from something like that? I'll post at the bottom. You check it out for yourself. White levels on a TV versus a 12. And I'll post at the bottom for you to see live. That's why it's important to have tests done, because if I come across something like this, if I do it to him, I have to do it to myself. And I've already did it already. I did it months ago. So I'll post it at the bottom. We'll do that tomorrow. How does contrast on a TV compare to a gray screen? All right. Now, see how much better that looks? Oh, by the way, this is his screen right here. If you can't see it, this is a primer. That screen right there, as you can see, I'm gonna lift it up a little bit. That's the screen right there. Pulls off a contrast level in the dark. What's more, like I said, again, this is two different doing the demonstrations. That's great primer. That's $15 primer. That's matching his product. There's his personal mix right here. And there's a white sheet of paper. Let's go over to, let me see. We need Goldfish Screensaver. They got one with an all black background. And this is what we need, all black backgrounds. We don't want to add any color into this because, oh yeah, we can add color in this. Let's see how far the color fades. We already did this right here. We already did the, now see, hold on, right here. Perfect example right here. We already did this already. See when the level was very bright? This is what they'll say. Look how bright the image is coming up. I can use my screen in a fully lit environment just like he can do it. So can the primer too. Because that 92-inch screen is painted with primer. Now, but do you display your contrast levels? Now, if you're going to talk about a screen being able to produce an image in a fully lit environment, you can't just stick to colorful levels. You have to show everything. When we show up the black screens, tell me one time we don't show up white levels. LG snowboarding, snow displays, 4K snow screensavers. Tell me when we don't. We always do. Anytime we display certified screens, what's the first screen we pop up? White screen levels first. There you go. We show everything. Where in these particular demonstrations with gray screen, these screen paint mixes, they will stick to those colorful demonstrations because that's where the screen is going to produce better. And then later on, I guarantee you, in that video, those lights are going to go out because they're going to start displaying the contrast levels. There you go. Now, again, if I'm wrong on this demonstration, feel free to do the exact same demonstration. Contrast only. And I bet you it doesn't get done. I bet you, because you can't do it. It's faking demonstrations. There's no way in the world that screen paint is pulling a contrast level. That's why it's always done in the dark. Let's look at that. We're gonna get some tea or something. We gotta keep it in the dark. It has to be in the dark. So this is what your environment's gonna look like at the end of the day. Tron Legacy. Yeah, we have the nice bright colors. Easy to display bright colors. All this is supposed to be dark. How much better will it look with the lights out? The interesting thing about this is that with the lights out, see how the dark, that's how our technology looks with the lights on. That's what it's supposed to look like. To Amazon has got the backlight, their freaking remote controls, because you can't see jack on these things. If you have the lights out, you're not seeing nothing. See? That's why I can sit here when I did that demonstration and I could watch Tron on this screen at 148, 147, and the gunmetal in the next room at 126 inches in a fully lit environment walk around. Fireworks display. Super bright images, no problem whatsoever. If the only difference is, we could do this. Keep forgetting this room Wi-Fi has to come off sometimes. Starfield demonstration.
I found a few matches for that.
You want to go around you, Alexa. You're basically having some issues on that one. Let's go up. When she says that means I have to go look for it. Request for fire over. Okay.
This could be you. Binge watching
For the same bright level, your screen can pull off with no problem. In the primer.
the people you love. When you're ready, we'll be here. To new memories.
This is why the darker screens cost more money, because they can pull a heavier contrast level. Big companies and corporations know this, but somebody sitting in an apartment is going to try to tell you that a gray screen is going to pull a contrast level equal to a darker screen. Not going to happen. And then try to convince you that that same darker screen can't pull a bright enough level. Not going to happen. If Dark Star 9s and those other screens that developed, the gunmetal darker screens, did exactly what he explained that they do, they wouldn't make any money. They wouldn't be multi-million-dollar corporations. And mind you, I've been in business for over 12 years. If my technology worked the way he said it did, I wouldn't be around. So even my time holds weight. My demonstrations hold weight. I got demonstrations on my account show me taking flights to California and Florida for contracts. Not the fact you consider. A friend of mine said, look at your success rate. I started my company in a small little rented room. Look where I live at now. He's in the same position he's always been in that small apartment. When you do things right and do things by the book, it shows. That's the only way. You have to be in the dark in order to see it. If that's the case, I can just hit the white wall. There's a white wall right there in the middle. The light's on, my screen remains the same. We're going to do one thing. TLC 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Show you the bright levels. This is what they stick to. And with the bright levels, they can sit there and say, look how bright the image comes up. I could do this in a fully lit environment. As I explained to you before, and he does it. It's a signature for him. And big companies do it too. It's a signature for them. I say them, not just for him, for them too. That they'll stick to more brighter colors because the images will show up better in a fully lit environment. It will fade less. They use high-powered projectors to make up for what the screens may lack in a fully lit environment. Everything's there to make sure the screen's going to look good at its best. Even when it comes down to calibrating, all that's done to make sure the screen is going to perform the best that it can. But keep in mind, you strip all that away. That's like, not to be disrespectful toward women, but you ever see a woman that wears way too much makeup? And then, you know, she looks gorgeous, fantastic. And then, you know, she removes all that makeup and you're like, there you go. So they put a lot of fluff behind their screens. High-end projector, fluff. Ambient light controlled environment, fluff. Staying away from contrast demonstrations, keeping those in the dark, fluff. That's what a black screen looks like, with signature black technology looks like on color, bright colors. We can do the same thing they can do with no problem. And that's a white wall right in the middle, right there. Boom. LG beta fish. Now I told you, LG beta fish. I like using the demonstration. And why? The background on that video must remain black. Now we're in the dark. Background's black now, isn't it? Well, it's not black, it's a shade of gray. So this is where you got to be at. When you use the products like this, you have to be in the dark. Same way he displays his demonstrations, always in a dark environment. That's where you're going to be at. What happened to the black background? No longer there. Fades when it hits the wall. Fades when it hits the gray screen. Comes back, transfers over to the black screen. Outer space screensaver. Yeah, we're just about done because sun's coming up and this is not going to do good and well in here. Let me bring in that nightmare now, that sounds better. Now you see the difference in the star field? It's darker here, it's lighter here. It brings up a shade of gray. It doesn't bring up actual black. You're not getting an actual black contrast level. What you're getting is you're getting a shade of gray. That's what you're getting. And in order for you to maintain this level, you're going to have to be in a dark environment. Now, like I said, we can back up everything when it comes to our product. If someone's going to come out there and say, hey, look, this product's so dark you can't see it. If that's the case, if my product was so dark and you can't see it, how is it possible that this screen was able to pull up an image at 1,000 lumens 13 feet back outside if it was so dark and pull it up crystal clear with no problem? That's where he basically, I don't know, that's why I call it groundhog syndrome, because he doesn't see any of those demonstrations that we do. A screen that it's so dark they can't pull up an image, and a environment where he has in a dark environment, number one, no lights on, and a dark environment with an ultra short throw projector sitting right up on top of the screen. And you mean to tell me that a screen can't pull up that image, but yet there's live demonstrations of the technology pulling up images in fully lit environments, pulling up images outside. Last and final test, 13 feet back on 1,000 lumens with no problem. But yet in your demonstrations, it can't pull up on an ultra short throw in a dark environment. Yeah, see, there you go. That's why if you were to go against a company that tests their products and they were saying, well, it doesn't do this and that, and they say, you know what, here's the test results right here. We tested it on this, we tested on that, we tested on this and that. That's how we know how it functions, because we ran these tests. That's how I know how my technology runs, because I run tests. It doesn't run tests. That's why it's easier for me to do this. So now, gray screens can't see contrast. Unless they have their coding technology, they can see it. And those of you who are going to say, well, Ken, I don't believe you. Well, like I said, I back up all my demonstrations. I back them all up. So if you want, take the time to click down below. I'll post the links of my ultralight gray screen paint, test it against primer, test it against his product to show you that there's a difference. And I'll even flip the screen around and you can see where my screen is just as light as a Metallica Mix 2.0. Except for the difference is when you set my screen in front of a projector, it automatically turns dark because there's a code inside of it that allows it to do that. That's how we can show that our stuff is different from everybody else, because we have tests to back it up. But take the time to look through those videos. When I put those links at the bottom, take time to look through them. As a matter of fact, if you have time, at the bottom you'll see something that says Ultimate 1100 Lumen Challenge. You know what that is? That's the demonstration that we posted in 2019 for anybody. I'm talking about projection screen companies, people make screen paints to match and better that demonstration. It was never matched. Never matched. I think we need to post it on the website too. We need to post our challenges on the website. Never match, none of them. But coming down to this, no, you can't see contrast coming from a screen paint mix. There's no way in the world you can see it unless you're showing proof. And the way you have to show proof is, like I said, when you do a contrast demonstration, they must be done in fully lit environments. That way you don't get tricked into this nonsense. Because if they turn the lights out, that black level has a much better chance of producing a contrast level. Lights on, you're not going to see jack at all, period. Well, we requested. Lights must be on anytime you display contrast. In this decade in time, I mean, look, people have to understand. When projection screens first started off, when it was reel to reel, if you were around that era, around reel to reel, because I was around that era with reel to reel projectors, slideshows, and all that stuff, it was meant for you to be on a white screen and a dark environment. That's how it was. And then eventually, as technology went on, we came with ultra short throw projectors, and people are using ambient light projection technology. Now everybody wants to be in fully lit environments. They want these little projectors tucked up under the screen. They want these giant images. That's what they want. They don't want to be stuck in the dark. Even when watching movies, they don't want to be in the dark. They want to be in a family setting. They want to treat that projector like they want to treat a TV. That's what they want. But if you're displaying demonstrations where you're constantly in the dark all the time with a $4,000 projector, that's not saying much. That's telling people that you literally have to be in the dark. So you got to cut corners and you got to put up smoke tricks. And the smoke tricks are turn the lights out when the contrast levels hits, keep them on when you have the bright, beautiful colors displayed. As I said before, the reason why I don't like when companies use such expensive high-end projectors, because unless you have that same projector or higher, that's the only way you're going to pull off that exact image that's being displayed in that showroom. If you have anything under that projector, you're not going to get the exact same image. And the first thing they're going to tell you is, well, what's the lighting like in your environment? Well, you have too much light in your environment. You're going to have to adjust that. You have to use ambient light controlled lighting in the environment. What kind of projector do you have? Well, you have 720p. You're going to at least upgrade to a high-end 1080p, but try to get yourself a 4K. And then when you get that projector, they're going to suggest you calibrate it. Well, if you want to get the best colors possible, you want to calibrate your projector. Yeah, okay. We don't calibrate projectors over here. That's a gunmetal starting this day today. Starfield demonstration.
What do you do when the government declares if you're a crime? You create the chicken oven and go on the strike for $2 billion a year. How much the chicks from breaking from ship?
That's how a Starfield demonstration is supposed to be displayed. Any contrast demonstration is always supposed to be displayed with the lights on. It's supposed to look like you could walk into outer space. Like you can climb up on that radiator and walk into that screen. That's how black that level is supposed to be. We're done with this demonstration here. Now the screen we use in that room, the signature is black. This is a gunmetal. This is a dark gray screen. White sheet of paper is resembling if you have a white screen. That's if you got a white screen. Now I like to throw curveballs in here from time to time in my videos. So, LG beta fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
Background must always remain black in any LG demonstration. Even on an ultralight gray, has to produce that contrast level. I've done that demonstration. Like I said, I'll post that below. You can check it out for yourself. We have links on everything. And check out my slogs. Now we did this demonstration yesterday at around, what was it, around 4 o'clock? That's how your screen's supposed to be displayed. Fireworks display, 4K.
Getting that from YouTube.
See about that bump there on my stand. Can pull the bright levels. No problem. No. No. These mixes that they have out here, white screens, all that, they can't see contrast at all, period. That's why the darker screens are more expensive. That's why you'll spend $4,000 and $5,000 for a projection screen. When they're dark, when they're gunmetal screens, they are expensive screens because they have that ability to pull that contrast level and they have the ability to pull that color pop. Now, we've already tested this screen, our gunmetal technology versus other gunmetal technology, and our screen pulls a heavier contrast level and brighter colors. We tested against light gray screens, Seymour AV 1.3, Seymour AV Matinee Silver, the Cinema Gray. So that's why I said on the stand, you know what, forget it. We're not going to bring this individual into this. We're just basically just testing it as it is. There you go. This is how your screen should react. You should be able to use this in a full lit environment and you should be able to see contrast. You should not be turning out your lights because every time contrast levels pop on the screen. 4K fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
All right, that's the curveball. We always throw a curveball in there just to show you. But no, as I said before, they can't see contrast at all. Just like this primer here, can't see contrast. Can't see contrast. It's a gray screen. They have white screens. And I have people say, well, look at a white screen. It produces amazing contrast levels and colors. That sheet of paper will match an Elite screen, Elite white screen, perfectly. Well, my white screen has a 2.0 or a 0.0 when it has a higher white level. No. That white sheet of paper that I use to print receipts on can match a white screen. White bed sheet can match a white screen. White paint can match a white screen. Anything can match a white screen if you put white against it. I'm not worried about messing up the screen. Remember, I got plenty of primer. My messy label. No worry on the screen up. I got plenty of primer. Plenty of primer. Got plenty of primer. We paint right over this today. Whoop. Get through myself. Color blue.
Getting that from YouTube.
And that screen's still wet. As it dries, and get the fan, it's going to turn blue. Hold up here. We're just throwing this in as a wild part for fun. Mind you, I'm using my fingers to paint the screen in. Fingers and a sock. That's what I used to paint the screen in. I wouldn't advise you to do that, but just to show you. As that screen dries, as you see the one on, it's black. That screen's going to dry blue right in front of you, and a dark blue. That's the color coding technology that's embedded in that technology. That's the worst paint job ever. Yeah, finger paint beforehand. And I would advise you, do not paint the screen in with your fingers. Let's do a better job at finger painting my screen. That was horrible. It's not part of the demonstration, but I always like to add a little more to it, you know? Make sure my pants are up. That'd be nice. There we go. There we go. Better. time we do our technology, as I said before, we paint it on. It always comes up dark. Every time. You gotta let it dry. When these paint on demonstrations more times than anyone can count. So if you get a bit of a people who feel like their pants, so when it sounds like a pants tie, that's what it is. Alright. What we do? That's right for me. Time my pants up too. I don't know why they're down so low. Never let it burn your heat for soda. I'm sure I didn't hit his sample screen, which I didn't. It was right there in the center. Alright, really set back and watch paint dry. That's just peachy. There you go, let it dry. Screen gets brighter as they dry. That's a million times on video. That screen is still soaking wet. That's how I know when people send me videos sometimes, they'll say, well, the screen's coming out too dark. And I'll say, let me see the screen. And they'll send me a picture and I'll see that little reflection of light showing that they just painted the screen. They never let it dry. Let the screen dry first, then send me pictures. I'm ready to get his piece taped down. Better. Kind of hands up too. Look how the blue in the back of the screen is transforming as actually projecting a deep blue. Make sure we get the finger paint off. Finger paint. Left ball spots in here. That's better. That's better. See the contrast level pushing through? Watch this. The ocean here is supposed to be a deep blue. That's supposed to be a deep blue. Not faded, not washed out. It's supposed to be a deep blue. Let's get a little bit more for that. Mine's still wet. Still gonna get lighter. There you go. We'll let that dry. Oh, I missed a spot. Still wet, still going to get brighter. See, still wet. It's going to get brighter than that. Now as you can see the deep blue ocean, the seashells, everything. Look at the deep blue ocean here compared to right there on the gray screen. Look at it right there. I think before I change this back into primer, we're going to use it as a splatter screen. I haven't done a splatter screen in a while. So we're definitely going to do a splatter screen. And then we're going to do contrast levels versus TV. So you can see what you're really supposed to be seeing off the TV, because the TV is going to display real contrast levels off YouTube. You're going to actually see it off the TV and then being displayed onto the screen. Now, like I said at the bottom of this video, I am going to put the demonstration of the 12 versus the TV on white levels. I'll post it at the bottom. We did this one already before for our technology because we do these tests all the time. We'll put in the demonstrations of the ultralight gray versus primer versus his product. Put it at the bottom. We did the ultralight gray versus Certify screens also too. We'll post that at the bottom too. And mind you, when I painted this screen on, and everybody would say, oh, look how dark it is. These screens come on dark, and as they dry, they get lighter. This is, let me show you the screen that's sitting next to my screen. This is how dark my product is compared to the light gray screen laying against it right now. And I painted this on live just a few minutes ago. If my screen was so dark, painted it next to gray primer and his screen paint, it would have came up exactly the same way in the video. But just to show you how much a lighter gray screen is to the black screen, there you go. This is why I can come on here and do crazy demonstrations like this without cutting any corners, without turning out the lights, without playing any smoke and mirrors, because our product works. Where if he wants to show you a contrast demonstration, as we just displayed a few minutes ago, he can't do that. He has to do that in the dark. It's the only way for me to pull that contrast level up. Guarantee you, he doesn't do the demonstration. Guarantee. Because he can't pull a contrast level. He can't back it up. As I said before, if you try to make our product look darker than what it is, I can come on here and do a demonstration like this. With no problem. I can back it up. He can't show you a screen, fully lit environment, showing that light gray screen paint, producing a star fill demonstration or any contrast demonstration. Because his product doesn't work. Screen's still wet. It's going to get lighter than that. Still go wet. Get right up close on it. There's this product right there. There's our product right there. See how we're displaying that nice deep blue? See, screen's still wet. Not even dry yet. And it's still displaying better colors than the screen that he has here. See how the blue displays here? See how the blue displays here? See how the red, see how the colors all start to pop? Look at the contrast level on the core reef. See the shadows and the core reef right there? That's supposed to be black. That's supposed to be green. That's supposed to pop out. This can't even pick it up. I have so much confidence in my technology that I can paint this live over a gray screen with your product right in the middle of it. The screen right here, still wet. This is all still wet. And still producing better than your screen. And the primer, still wet. Now this is, we're going to use this for a while. This is going to be the splatter screen. I like using splatter screens. Splatter screens are fun, especially to use outside. These are fun screens to use outside. then you get a chance to see exactly how your screen, where your screen is missing when it comes to contrast and color. The parts that splatter with the technology will pull up all the rich colors and all that and everything, and the other screen won't be able to pick it up. Now, yes, I expect these screens to produce a higher white level. But a higher white level, as I explained to you before in videos, is not a good sign. It's a bad sign because that means the screen is generating too much white light, and that means it's going to struggle when it comes to producing color and contrast. That's going to be a problem. Darker screens just have to maintain a high enough white level to be able to produce a natural colors, natural pictures, where the image is not too dark. But if their white levels are too high, that means the contrast levels suffer. And if the contrast levels suffer, your color and your contrast fades and diminishes off the screen. This is why every time we do a demonstration, the first thing I request is that white level, because that allows me to see which screen is producing too high of a white level. And when you hear me say, oh, here we go, you know what's going to happen. That's why. That's the problem with a lot of the high-end screens. They have that kind of reflective surface, and that reflective surface generates too much white light. That's why when we stick those screens against our screens and we turn it to blue or green, those screens turn kind of a whitish gray look to it. They can't pick up the color correctly. They're producing too much white light. But when I first did that demonstration, oh, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I'll tell you why it was so much fun. Because I did that demonstration live, and I had so many naysayers in the room talking about, oh yeah, see, look how dark his image come up. Look how, oh, just ranting and carrying on. Oh, I let them rant. I knew what was going to happen. I just let them rant. Just let them talk all the trash they want to talk. And then boom, hit that red, and that screen washed out. I was like, so what happened? What happened? Because they thought because the screen was going to produce such a high white level that the colors were going to come out looking amazing, and my screen was going to come out looking dark. No. When they saw that, boy, it was quiet. Nobody was not talking and saying anything in the room. They had no way to try to understand what just happened to them. You don't understand how physical color works with light. If your image is too white, if you're pulling off too much white light, you're not going to be able to pick up on color. This is why white screens have a difficult time trying to display color. They are pushing off too much white light reflecting off the screen, and the screen generates too much white light. This is why they can't see contrast. The lighter your screen, the more it's going to struggle with this problem. We're going to call it the white screen syndrome. That's what you're going to suffer from. So if you have a light gray screen paint, it's going to have some problems. It's going to struggle with that. And being that Cinemax being lighter than a personal mix, that thing is going to have crazy problems going up against a 250-inch screen outside a Black Nova. Because that's where we're going to do the Cinemax right. We're going to put that against a 250-inch Black Nova. Have you ever seen what our black technology looks like outside? I'll post a 180-inch screen of 8 that we had outside that we were watching Star Wars dogfight scene in outer space at around 6 o'clock in the evening. I even had people at the golf course sitting over there watching the screen because they couldn't believe the thing was firing up that crystal clear with those dark contrast levels. We're going to give you a 120-inch screen. We're going to stick you in the middle of a 250-inch Black Nova and see what happens. See if your image will pull. And we only need, we're going to use a Sony DPL FH30. They're 4,300 lumens. That's all we need. And look at this. Okay, that's still wet. That's definitely still wet. problem. We can back it up. It's not the problem. The problem is you can't back it up. We can back it up. I debunked the theory why and how that light gray screens that are not properly tested cheat when it comes to contrast levels. And then just add a little bit more to it, to the twist. I like to add these little crazy things at the end. I painted my screen around your screen and the primer. So if the screen came up so dark, as you displayed in the demonstration where you never showed the labels off at all. I've never seen anybody hide labels like that. You never showed the labels. You didn't do an unboxing. Heck, you could have had anything in that container. There's no proof that it's ours. Because, well, we know it's not ours because we saw by how dark the image came out. Right here I am painting my screen live around the primer and your screen, and look at this. And your screen is matching the primer, $15 primer. See the difference between my product and primer right there? And look at this. Matching perfectly. Look at my blues here compared to the blues here. And like I said, you can't even get where you have the core reef. You see those dark areas right in here that makes it stand out? Look how it looks here. See how it looks washed out and faded? Because it can't pick up a contrast level. Now see how the fish transfers over here? That image is supposed to be so dark you can't even see it. That's what it's claimed. All right, next time we come on, we're going to do a splatter screen. Now, a splatter screen is basically where the screen's already splattered. That's what we're going to do. You know what I'm dying to do next? I want to do a demonstration where I just take a bucket of our paint and we just throw it up against a white screen. We're not going to paint it on, nothing. We're just going to throw it against the screen and show you how fast this stuff reacts. We're going to do that outside. I got to put a lot of plastic because this screen paint splattered all over the place. But yeah, we're going to do that. Throw it up there to show you how it's going to react on a white screen. But yeah, the lighter the screen, the harder, the more difficult it's going to have on pulling a contrast level. You know, that's what's going to happen. It's going to become, because if your screen's so light, it's coming close to a white screen. White screens already have very difficult problems pulling up images. And the lighter your screen is, that means the less contrast you have in it. It means you're going to have all kinds of problems whatsoever. You're not going to be able to pull that contrast up. And the only way you can do it, and what a lot of people do, or what this particular individual does all the time, is when they show off a contrast level, they will do that in the dark. Now, like I said, if I'm wrong in this demonstration, and we're talking about the contrast part only, well, you can't pull this off anyway, but the contrast part only, feel free to do a demonstration in a fully lit environment and just show contrast demonstrations only. I'm not talking about peppered with colors. I'm talking about matter of fact, just do the star field, because you have to do this with this individual because he's always looking to cut corner. King corner cutter. He's always looking to cut corners any way he can. So you have to be blunt with him. So like I said, if you feel that I'm wrong, take your screen paint, do a star field demonstration, put it in a fully lit environment. That's all you have to do. No lights off. No lights off. Anytime you do a contrast demonstration, lights should always be on. We can do it. And like I said, if you claim you have the same product that we do, then you should be to do it. Well, there you go. Let's walk up on the screen one more time. Our product is supposed to be so dark. We should be coming up super dark next to his product. interesting. All right, with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you all for your time. I have to come back in, and I'm not going to be doing, I'm going to explain the video, and that's going to be it. I'm not going to be doing any talking at all, because these videos have to be posted to the website. One of the videos we will be displaying is the video where he basically faked the demonstration of him showing off how black our product is supposed to be. We're able to match that demonstration with the same demonstration with his product. So you're going to see a repeat of that demonstration. That's going to be on the website. We'll put it under our people commit fraud against our company. We also will be posting the demonstration where he did with the 2 tablespoons of black into white paint, stating the video was deleted. These videos were deleted. Also to the demonstration where he basically took our product into Lowe's or Home Depot and tried to make it. That's going to be posted onto the site. And what else we're going to have on there too? Yeah, these particular videos and the gunmetal one. We're going to be doing that one too. I'm going to play back the gunmetal back exactly how he did it in the demonstration. And we're going to put them side by side so you can see exactly where. And mind you, when we do it, we're not going to be sitting in the dark in this demonstration. We're going to be in a fully lit environment with window light hitting the screen. So like I said, that's what I find kind of interesting when he does these demonstrations against our products. He is constantly in the dark when he does this because even he fears his own screen failing, even when he's doing fake demonstrations, which is kind of bad. All right, I got to get back to work. I got orders that are coming in right now. I got to get those ready because I got to get these ready for, these are the gunmetal. These are going out. Let me see. These are going out today. These are going out today. Oh, remember I told you I had this guy? Yeah, ordered him some a long time ago. Ordered this product Pro Screen. He's actually pretty good. He's better than Crow, I'll give you that much. He's much better than Crow. These are the gunmetals that came in. Again, Jamie, despite your trying to tear down our product, these orders came in yesterday. All these came in yesterday. About 2 gallons and a quart came in yesterday. So these are going out today. So I got to get these taped up and ready for shipping today. We're going to be using that TV. We're going to be putting that at the bottom right there to show the contrast levels on the TV versus the gray screen paints. Got to repaint over my screen. We're going to have some fun with the splatter screen first. This is the Elitist already painted, ready to go. Ready to go. This is going to be outside today for its last and final demonstration. Sorry it took me so long to get around to that, but I had a lot of stuff I'm working on right now. So this had to be taken care of last. But this will finally be on the website. We'll do some demonstrations off of it inside and outside. But yeah, that'll be outside today. So that will get its label. Other than that, we're done. I got to get these guys ready for ship out for today. Any orders that come in for today, we're going to try to get them out all this week. So what I'm trying to do is I want to still push out orders on Saturday, but we're just trying to get a lot of the orders done and processed through the week because this makes it so much easier on me because I don't want to be sitting there with like 60, 70 orders coming in and I got all this stacked up on top of me. So it's a lot. So since I got a couple of postal workers that I'm cool with and they have no problem with backing the truck up in the driveway and picking up the items, that is fantastic. And I still get to pay my driver to take out the orders. It's everything doesn't have to stack up on top of me. All right. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Thank you for your time. I have to go in. God bless.